financial obligations that would continue.
I do want to go back to the stock market for a second, because we were well above 15.7 for a moment there. We are in record territory. Ed Butowski is with us. Ed, excuse me, real fast. This is all about the Federal Reserve printing a ton of money in a weak economy. Am I right?
Well, you got a weak economy. The economy is going to get weaker. I don't think it's all printing of money, Stuart. I think corporate earnings are, fairly okay, I guess is the best way of putting it. This is earnings-driven, not Fed printing. The market's going to go higher, but I'd sell into it as we get towards year-end.
But this market is totally separate from the mess that we've seen in D.C., correct?
That's right.
Totally separate.
And absolutely, and what a mess it is. But you're absolutely right. It's a separate, it's completely separate in a separate universe, and I don't know what universe they're in Washington.
Okay. We're about 50 minutes in coverage of these hearings on Capitol Hill. As we said, we're not C-SPAN. We are going to offer expert commentary as we move along through these hearings. We're expecting them to go on to approximately 12 noon or thereabouts. We are staying with it. Okay? So let's go back to it.
I yield back my time. And much time has expired. Chair would recognize the gentlelady from California, Ms. Eshoo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Madam Secretary. You're a distinguished woman. You have distinguished yourself in your state, the offices that you've held, and now working for the American people, and I salute you for it. I want to really congratulate my Republican pals for being absolutely 1,000% consistent. You love what's wrong with the website, and you detest what's working in the Affordable Care Act. And I think that that is on full display here. But let's get back to the website.
This is very interesting. What we're seeing this morning is Republicans asking penetrating, and I would say sometimes harsh questions of Ms. Sebelius about the rollout and about the cancellation of private insurance policies. The Democrats who are asking questions have really taken aim straight at the Republicans. It is a highly politically charged event, with the Democrats being, I believe, more political than the Republicans in that they are attacking their Republican opponents. Betsy?
They're making it a dog and pony show when we really need to get some answers. I'm waiting for somebody to ask Secretary Sebelius about the CGI. Why was the contract given to a company that had a terrible track record but had crony connections to Michelle Obama? How can you explain such a thing? A no-bid contract.
Those questions are probably not going to come from Ms. Eshoo, Democrat, California, who's asking questions now.
She's giving her being a woman.
Well, okay, but that is important. You've got a woman in a very difficult position explaining the appalling rollout of her product. She is a woman.
It has nothing to do with it.
That's true, but she's being asked harsh questions, largely by men. What are the optics, politically, of that situation? Go on. You got to address that.
Well, it's happened to me many times. I think her gender should be irrelevant. If people are sensitive to it, just remember she is bullying the American public as harshly as any man could do it.
I want these questions asked. Was it your decision to launch October 1st, yes or no? Did you discuss with the President whether or not to launch October 1st, yes or no? Did you show the President the Health Exchange website, yes or no? Did you discuss with the President whether or not to extend the deadlines for health reform, yes or no, including the employee mandate tax?
That is important, because the website crashed in a test days before the launch.
Those are the confidence questions.
But why did Ms. Sebelius go ahead and launch? And did she tell the President that it was a mess before it even started? That's a good question.
But of course, even the bigger questions are, why did this administration lie to the American people again and again?
Okay, the question that's just been asked, are there any penalties for the contractors? And here's Ms. Sebelius' response.
And coordinate the activities moving forward, which have to be driven with a very clear set of outcomes, very accountable timelines and deadlines, and they will be helping to manage that process.
On the issue of security, there was a security breach that arose recently that I read about, at any rate. And what I think is very important here, because the issue of privacy has been raised, and I think that that has been answered, because very importantly, there isn't any health information in these systems, but there is financial information. So my question to you is, has a security wall been built? And are you confident that it is there and that it will actually secure the financial information that applicants have to disclose?
Yes, ma'am. I would tell you that there was not a breach. There was a blog by a sort of skilled hacker that if a certain series of incidents occurred, you could possibly get in and obtain somebody's personally identified.
Isn't that telling?
And we immediately corrected that problem. So there wasn't it was a theoretical problem that was immediately fixed. I would tell you we are storing the minimum amount of data because we think that's very important. The hub is not a data collector. It is actually using data centers at the IRS, at Homeland Security, at Social Security to verify information, but it stores none of that data. So we don't want to be...
Gentlelady's time has expired. Chair to recognize Mr. Simkis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, Madam Secretary. Madam Secretary, before I start my questions, the Washington Post gave the administration and the President, yourself, 4 Pinocchios on this whole debate of if you like the insurance you have, you can keep it. Would you recommend to the President that he stop using that term? Wouldn't that be helpful in this debate?
Well, sir, I think he used the term at the time that the law was passed, and
as of September 26th also. So
that's why we wrote.
So the answer is you don't believe that the Washington Post and therefore
Washington.
Well, we'll hand this down to you, and so you can see it. Have you ever shopped? I know you have, but this is for at a grocery store with a. You ever used a coupon?
Yes.
So the coupon gives you the terms and conditions of when you go to the checkout to get whatever's off the price of the goods. When you all added the C Plans Now option, you in essence gave the searcher in essence a coupon based upon what they're seeing there. The desire was let people know what the price is. However, as the news reported, and I followed up in last week's hearing, was that if you are under 50 years old, you get quoted the price of someone who's 27. If you're older than 50, could be 64, you get quoted a price of someone who's 50 years old. Isn't that misleading?
Well, sir, the Learn side of the website, which has been up since actually late.
So that's truthful then. If you quote a price,
it is clearly a hypothetical situation.
Oh, are you?
That
Do you
allows
say? Wait.
People to,
okay, on the C Plans Now option, are you saying this is a hypothetical? That's not what it says on the site. It says this is the price when you put in your age, and if your age is 49, it quotes you as if you're 27.
Sir, the only way someone can get an accurate information about their price is to get their...
Let me ask you another question. When did you decide to use this below 50 at 27 and above 50 at 50 years old? When did you make that decision?
That was decided by the team as...
By who? Who made the problem with this whole debate is you all won't tell us who made the decision.
I can tell you I did not design the site. I will get...
Well, who made the decision on the 27-year-old?
I'm just deciding whether to break away from this or not. What I really want here is some clarity on this deceptive pricing age.
On the website.
That was the charge by Republican John Shimkus, Republican Illinois. Betsy, just give me some clarity.
He said they're broad-age bands, and if you happen to fall into that band, but you're at the older end of it, when you actually go to buy your plan, it's going to cost a lot more than that.
What was her response? Because again, I need clarity here.
Well, it's just a hypothetical, and he says, well, no, nothing on the website tells prospective consumers it's a hypothetical. They're actually they think they're getting the price that they'll have to pay.
Right.
Okay, so this is questioning about the website.
Right.
The choices available to you and the pricing available to you.
That's right.
Okay.
And he's suggesting it's a little hard sell, like the sticker price on the car. It's not really like that when you're
like it's a bait. In other words, a bait and switch.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take a brief pause here, ladies.